What if every time you started your motorcycle, you were quietly shaving years off its engine life without even knowing it? Most riders never question their startup habits. But modern fuel-injected motorcycles aren't as forgiving as the old carbureted machines. One wrong move at ignition, like revving cold or skipping a system check, can trigger wear, electrical strain, or even fuel delivery issues that lead to breakdowns later. In this video, we'll expose the most common startup mistakes riders make and explain exactly how they damage your bike. If you ride regularly and want your machine to last, this is one habit check you can't afford to skip. Number 1. Revving a cold engine. Revving your engine right after startup might sound cool, but it's one of the fastest ways to wear out your bike. When your engine is cold, oil hasn't fully circulated yet. That means pistons, camshafts, and bearings are running dry for the first few seconds. If you twist the throttle, you're forcing metal parts to operate at high speed with minimal lubrication. This increases friction, accelerates wear, and in extreme cases can cause piston scuffing. Mechanics agree that revving a cold engine contributes to reduced top-end engine life. On modern bikes, the ECU manages the idle for optimal fuel delivery, so there's zero benefit to manual input. Just let the engine idle naturally for 30 to 60 seconds. Once the oil has had time to warm and circulate, the bike will be ready to roll with a lot less wear and tear in the long run. Number 2. Starting with throttle. Open, fuel-injected motorcycles don't need throttle input at startup. Yet many riders still twist the grip as they start the engine. On modern bikes, doing this sends the wrong signal to the ECU, which tries to correct for an unneeded fuel-air imbalance. This can cause a hard start, sputtering idle, or even lead to temporary flooding of the injectors. The throttle should always remain closed when starting. The ECU is designed to control the air-fuel ratio precisely, and adding extra throttle just confuses it. Plus, cold revving with an open throttle increases internal pressure and puts unnecessary strain on piston rings and valves. It's a habit left over from carbureted bikes, but on modern machines it does more harm than good. If you want your bike to fire up cleanly and stay mechanically healthy, trust the system, leave the throttle alone, and let the electronics handle the fuel mix. Number 3. Skipping fuel pump. Priming. Every time you turn the key on a modern motorcycle, you'll hear a brief whirring sound. This is your fuel pump priming the system. That sound means it's pressurizing the injectors and eliminating air bubbles from the fuel rail. If you hit the starter button before this cycle completes, you risk starting the bike with insufficient fuel pressure or even small air pockets in the line. This causes lean misfires, puts strain on the pump, and forces the injectors to compensate. Repeatedly skipping this step over time shortens fuel pump and injector lifespan. The fix is simple. Turn the ignition key, wait 2 seconds for the prime cycle to finish, then press start. This gives the fuel system time to do its job, delivers smooth ignition, and reduces long-term mechanical wear. Don't rush it. Those 2 seconds could save you from costly fuel system repairs down the line. Number 4. Starting in gear without the clutch. One of the most jarring mistakes is starting your motorcycle while it's in gear without pulling in the clutch. If your side stand safety switch or neutral sensor fails, or you're on an older model without them, this can make the bike lurch forward the moment it fires up. That sudden movement can damage your transmission, strain the chain, bend foot pegs, or worse, cause a tip-over in tight spaces. Even with safety systems in place, you're still forcing the starter motor to crank against load, which adds stress to both the electrical system and the drivetrain. The smart move? Always verify neutral before starting, or if you must start in gear, make sure the clutch is pulled in fully. Get into the habit of looking for the green neutral light, and never assume the bike will just start fine. It's not just about convenience, it's about protecting your starter, gearbox, and potentially your safety. Number 5. Repeated cranking. If your bike doesn't start immediately, holding the starter button for long stretches or repeatedly pressing it is a fast way to kill your battery and overheat your starter motor. Starter motors draw a huge amount of current, and excessive cranking creates heat that can damage internal windings or cause fuses to blow. Most manufacturers recommend cranking for no more than 5 seconds at a time, with 10 to 15 seconds rest in between attempts. Beyond that, every push further drains the battery and risks a complete electrical failure. Repeated cranking also floods the engine with excess fuel, making it even harder to start. If your bike doesn't start within the first 2 or 3 tries, stop and diagnose the issue. Check the kill switch, neutral, side stand, or fuel supply. Trying over and over won't fix the problem and may create a new one. Respect your starter system, and it'll last much longer. Number 6. Ignoring dashboard warnings. Modern motorcycles come with sophisticated onboard diagnostics for a reason. That little check engine or oil pressure light that stays on after startup? It's not decoration, it's a warning. Ignoring these lights can lead to catastrophic damage. If your oil pressure light remains lit, it means your engine isn't getting proper lubrication. Riding like that can destroy internal components in minutes. Likewise, ignoring a battery or engine management warning could mean running with a faulty sensor, low voltage, or an ECU problem, all of which risk permanent damage. Riders sometimes dismiss these lights as glitches or think, "I'll deal with it later." Don't. If a warning light stays on after startup, shut the bike off and inspect the issue or consult a mechanic. Those alerts are there to prevent costly failures. Respect them, and they'll protect your bike. Number 7. Skipping pre-ride checks. Starting your motorcycle without a basic inspection is a gamble. Even just one missed issue like low oil, a flat tire, or a loose chain can ruin your ride, or worse, cause an accident. A simple 60-second walk-around can save you thousands in repairs. The T-clocks method is the gold standard. Tires, controls, lights, oil, chassis, and stands. Make sure your chain is lubricated, your brakes have pressure, and nothing's leaking. Confirm that you have fuel, all lights work, and your tire pressures are within spec. Riders often skip this because they're in a rush, but rushing leads to missed problems. Even pros inspect before every ride. Starting up without this step might work today, but it only takes one failure to end up stranded or worse. Make it a habit, inspect first, then ride. There you have. These are the most common startup mistakes that are easy to make, but just as easy to fix. Give your engine time to breathe, trust your fuel system, respect your dashboard, and never ignore a pre-ride check. Start your bike smart, and it'll reward you with years of smooth, reliable riding. If you found this video helpful, then do not forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends, and also drop down the comment if you were making any of these mistakes.